I. Oh, great start. Ay, toots. Is Macabre Expedition. There we go. Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I'm here today with my April 2022 wrap-up, and there's not a lot of books on here. I read 5 books in April 2022, 2 of which were ebooks, 3 were physical copies. I will show them to you obviously as we go along. I really want to say that I found a couple of my favorite books this month, given how amazingly well they are written and the topics that they talk about. But given the massive reading slump that I'm in, my brain is not allowing me to process anything in a manner that will help me identify that yes, these books are going to be close to my heart, or these books have already settled down in my heart. Okay, so now that that's out there in the open, let's just dive right in and let me share with you the 5 books that I read in April 2022. The first book that I finished in April 2022 was One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. This is a fast-paced book. It's very snappy. It doesn't have that long of chapters. You can just fly through it, but still it took me days to finish it. That's how my reading has been going, if you were asking. If you were not asking, then jump to the next part. But this is a murder mystery thriller kind of book in which 5 students go to detention because they are caught carrying phones in class. But one of them has a seizure, a reaction to something that he has consumed during that detention, and he dies 24 hours before he can do something. What is that something? Simon, the person who dies, owns an app. He runs an app. It's sort of a gossip kind of thing where he posts secrets about all the people in the school. Nobody knows where he finds these secrets, but he has this power over everyone, and before he can post the secrets of the 4 other people in detention with him, he dies. So now the police are obviously suspecting these 4 people to have had a hand in Simon's death. Who actually did it is the whole mystery here. I mean, it's a little long-winded and it didn't need like 350 plus pages in my opinion. Maybe cut down on 50 pages or so and it could have been a much crisper, a much more enjoyable read. Enjoyable is a very questionable word for murder mystery, but the secrets that come out and how far these people are going to go to protect them, and in what manner they are going to deal with them if they are going to come out, it's really interesting to see. I must say that I really enjoyed this book and I was really surprised by that end, and that's the mark of a good murder mystery in my opinion. And given how my reading has been going in the past few months, to have actually sat down and finished this, it's a huge thing for me, and to be able to look back at it and say that yes, that was a good one, that's even better. The next book I finished was The World's Most Frustrating Man by Abhay Dev. This is the author of The Influencer Speed Must Have a Limit, a book that I had read and reviewed last year. If you'd like to go check that out, link here as well as in the description box below. And in this book, The World's Most Frustrated Man, the author talks about his own feelings, his own experiences, and his frustrations at the world, at himself, at the people surrounding him. It was an interesting read for sure, but I did not agree with a lot of things that the author has put in there. So yeah, that's the extent to which I'm going to review that book here. Next up is Camp by Elsie Rosen. This is a book that I was so excited about. I bought it with such determination that I was going to read it as soon as I bought it, but it just ended up sitting on my shelf for a long time. But I finally picked this up last month and I really enjoyed this book. This is the story of Randy, who has been going to queer camp for four years. This is his 5th year over there, and he has a crush on someone. So what he does is, in order to adhere to his crush's preferences, he changes himself and he completely goes in a different direction as to what his own style preferences are, because he wants to attract the attention of that person. So now the question is, if his crush ends up falling for him, is it going to be because of the changes that he made, or is it because of the person that he is? It's a beautiful way of exploring teenage relationships, or any relationship for that matter, but to explore teenage relationships and queer relationships in a way that is so free, so beautiful. I loved this book. To read this, it just filled me with joy and warmth, and to see the acceptance, just the freedom going through the pages in the book, it just made me feel so happy. See, and the thing is, you can use what the author is saying in this about acceptance and love and warmth, and apply them to your own life and to the people around you, and that, I feel like, that will make us into a better person than we are. It's just so full of life. I would highly recommend that you read this book. This is just amazing, full of light, and it does not diminish any person's misfortunes or any person's experiences. It just elevates them, and it just puts that character in perspective, but as a part of this whole strong, beautiful, amazing community. Next up is Macabre Expedition, the second in the Frank Carter series by Yashesh Rathod. I did a full blog review of this book on my blog. If you would like to go check that out, link is in the description box below. This book picks up 8 months after the events of the first book, which is called Something Strange Over the Yellow Lotus. I did a video review for this. If you'd like to go check that out, link here as well as in the description box below. And in this, Frank Carter and his parents have moved from the Yellow Lotus region, and they are now having a calm, quiet life, easy life. But something has happened because of all the time travel and the shifting around in the first book. The ancient keeper of time is now behind him and his companion Randolph Smith, who did this whole thing, and now they have to go in search of pellets of power in order to do something, in order to get that power so that they can fight that ancient keeper. And what Frank and Randolph are now going to do forms the entire story. And there's a female mercenary now who is going to help Frank and Randolph throughout this expedition. And there's a lot of action, there's a lot of navigation through unknown waters, and going on quests to find out where they actually have to end up going, and learning about new people, meeting new people. But as I mentioned in my review, I must say that like the first book, this book is also detail heavy. There are way too many details in way too much and way too much explanation, and it is in a rather tedious, childish manner, and I wish that there had been more editing and proofreading done before it had the author had gone forward with the publication. And that's all I'm going to say for this book. For more, go read my blog post. Fifth and last was Roar by Cecilia Ahern. This is also a book that I bought ages and ages ago, but I never ended up reading because. But this is a collection of short stories about 30 unnamed women, and I really can't explain what these stories mean to me, because they take everyday experiences of women and turn it into something else. The author uses metaphors, and she uses allegories and everything that you can think of, and brings about stories in manners that you cannot even explain. Like, few of these stories I was gaping at the words on the page because of how smart they were. But this collection is great. It holds a lot of lessons for us women specifically, and how we need to look at the world, and how the world needs to treat us more than how we need to look at the world. But more than any of that, it just shows us how the world treats women and how sexist and chauvinistic it can be. or it is, I must say. I want to say that this book has become one of my favorite books of all time, but something is holding me back. But maybe in a few months when I look back and when everything's settled down, everything is stabilized, maybe then I will include this in one such list. Who knows? Who can tell the future? So those were the 5 books that I read in April 2022. Which of these have you read? Which ones do you want to read? Which ones did you actually read in April 2022? Did you find a favorite? Did you find one of your worst books of all time? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.